Well, revenue reports are coming in. Let's see what Bitcoin is going to be doing. Hello Adrian, and welcome back to another episode of the Dang Oracle. It is 7:30 p.m. and my time zone is UTC plus 8. Welcome everybody who is watching around the world, and have a beautiful hump day. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. So have a beautiful Wednesday. First of all, let me say hi to everybody who is watching. Hi John, hi Ahmed, hi Lex, hi Darren, hi Cedric, hi Nikolai. I hope you are doing well. So before that, the hardcore crew and the rest of some of the newcomers are coming in. Let's take a look on the COVID numbers if we see something new over there. Most likely not, but if you don't realize it, I'm just doing this 5-minute segment so that people who are usually a little bit late come into the channel. Anyways, so the US. Hi Gita. So the US, we are over 3.9 million cases. Brazil, we are at over 2.1 million cases, and India close to 1.2 million cases right now. Crazy. How does it look on the chart? Let's take a look on the chart itself. Hi Tina. Hope you are doing well. We are close to 15 million cases overall, confirmed cases. Wow, that's that's a lot. Anyways, so for the US and Brazil and India and Russia and South Africa and Peru, the charts looks basically the same. Everything is not that great on in terms of the COVID numbers, but we've realized that for a while now. But yeah. I do think that it's really crazy what is going on in the rest of the world right now. For now, yeah, let's really hope we find a cure and something very soon, a solution very soon, of course. Oh, we got a bunch of new followers. Hi Jason, hi Marcus, hi Rico, hi Mark, hi Max. Thank you for following and welcome to the channel. Stay a while and hope you enjoy it yourself. Anyways, let's go immediately into Bitcoin and follow up a little bit on what happened yesterday or what was spoken yesterday. Well, yesterday I said that we most likely will be testing the green box to the top side, and then most likely we'll be testing the green box to the downside. So, do I sound like an oracle right now? That's pretty much an oracle. And I also said that most likely will be ranging around inside that box until some of the revenues are going to be more transparent during the day, right? So yes, that's basically what happened. So for the people who took the short from this point here and took profits here, I know yesterday somebody took a short. I don't remember exactly who it was. Congratulations. I hope you closed your position at around the 9.3k. Like I said, most likely that will be the spot to be taken attention. Now, how does it look right now? Well, if we are looking on the short-term time frames, like I said, potential. Once again, here goes with the potential. Actually, we can also already see it on the daily as well. So let's start with the daily. So potentially we have a bearish divergence on the daily, where we have a lower high here between that point and that point, and of course from this point to this point, you can clearly see that we have a higher high on the RSI. So potential hidden bearish divergence forming there, but once again is only potential because, well, as long as we have not confirmed a lower, if this is not confirmed a lower high, then of course this bearish divergence is not valid, because what can happen is, of course, the price can be pumping up and make a higher high, and then of course the RSI here on the bottom will make a higher high as well. So that would negate the potential bearish divergence. But for now, of course, potential bearish divergence. And how do we confirm that we would get bearish divergence? Well, that's pretty simple. We would have to break down this previous daily candle towards the downside, and I would say that would well, it's very tough to break the full candle because it's such a big candle towards the upside. I would say a closure once again below the EMA 21, that would basically do it for me. So a close below 9,250. tomorrow, by tomorrow, that would most likely potentially confirm that hidden bearish divergence towards the downside, and most likely we will be seeing prices move more downwards toward the lower end, most likely towards the 9K area once again. Would that break any structure? Not really, but of course then we would be hanging towards the downside as well. A little bit on the short term. On the 4 hour, we can also see pretty similar that we are forming some potential bearish divergence as well from this point here. So we have a lower high here from this point to this point, and on the RSI we have a higher high here from this point to this point. Well, we can see it a little bit clearer if I zoom it in a little bit. Here you go. See, so we have a potential higher high on that, and a lower high of course on the price as well, as you can see. But once again, only potential, because if we reverse and we make a higher high, then exactly the same story, right? So where would that divergence kick in? Well, pretty much the same area where we're at, because as you can see here, the EMA 21 is at 9,262. So if we start closing some candles below 9,262, that would confirm that bearish divergence. And where would we be aiming towards the lower end, most likely around the 9K area, right? Back to this, most likely below this green box, a little bit lower, I would assume, somewhere around this area here, right, where we have been testing it a couple of times. Around the 9,000, 8,950, 8,900 area. Would it break the structure? No, it would not break the structure, but I mean, those are the things that are potentially lining up, and potentially, you know, interesting to be watching, of course. But like I said yesterday as well, I do not expect to be breaking the structure just yet, but everything will be depending on the next, most likely tonight and tomorrow, because the revenues reports, like I said, for the traditional markets are coming in, and I think that is way more important right now, because it's basically the price of Bitcoin is basically going to be following the traditional markets. So before I continue a little bit over the where I think that Bitcoin is going to be heading at, or potentials of movements that I'm seeing for Bitcoin, let's take a look first on the traditional markets, right? Because I think that one is very interesting right now at this point in time. So on the short term, of course, very similar. We have potential bearish divergence as well from this point to this point on Nasdaq, and of course on the RSI we will be seeing exactly the same thing. One second, it's on the 13th of July. One second, the 13th of July. So here on the 13th of July, here on this point to this point, right? So a little bit lower high on the RSI as well, as you can see. So potential bearish divergence as well there, with the higher high here and the lower high there. On Nasdaq, once again, not confirmed just yet, because, well, we are still above, we are still holding the EMA 21 as well here. So where do we start? If we start closing candles below the EMA 21, I would think that most likely we'll be heading a leg lower as well, most likely back to around the 10,600-ish area for Nasdaq, right? So let's take a look on the daily, because things are actually looking quite very, very interesting, to be honest, because on the daily we can exactly see the same thing as well, by the way. So here some divergence here from this point to this point, potential bearish divergence on the daily, and that's even stronger, of course. And then here on the RSI from this point to this point, as you can see, quite heavy actually, this bearish divergence, potential bearish divergence between those 2 points. So I think that one is the most important structure that we should be looking at, right? So where do we break? Well, once we start breaking the structure towards the downside, I would say if we go back to around 10.5K, that would be a serious topping pattern. So if we see in the next day or something like that, going towards the 10.5K and close, and definitely if we close below the 10.5K, that would be a midterm reversal pattern, and then basically that would for me give me the destination that Bitcoin is most likely going towards the downside rather than the upside. But for now, like I said, it's only potential, right? Because as you can see right now, it is pushing, basically going sideways and still pushing towards the top end rather than the lower end, as you can see. Although, as you can see, we had a small pullback, and that's what I expected as well, right? So yesterday, I told you guys we would hit towards the top and then most likely go back to towards the downside. And that's what happened to Bitcoin as well. Went to 10,450 and then went back to 10,300 on Bitcoin. Well, on the Nasdaq, it did basically exactly the same, right? So it went to 11,058. That is also something very interesting, by the way. So it went to 11,058 and then went back down to the EMA 21, as you can see here. Let me put this Fibonacci first on the daily because I want to show you guys something really cool. Anyways, as you can see right now, once again, something that that might be interesting to be watching is this could be potentially a double top pattern as well, as you can see here, right? So if we went exactly 10,058, which was the all-time high from a couple of weeks ago, right? 10 days ago, actually 10 days ago, and we did once again 10,058 yesterday, right? So we did not break the all-time high. We basically hit the exact amount, and then we pushed down. And right now, as you can see here, if we are looking at the pivot points, it's being pushed right now at this area towards the downside at the 10,900-ish area. So I think that's the area to be looking at right now. Do we, and later when the markets are opening, do we push towards back towards the top end, back towards the 11,000 basically, or do we get rejected from that area towards the more the downside? I'm looking in the short term. I'm looking, of course, this EMA 55 here at around 10,700-ish area. But yeah. It will be depending on how the atmosphere is and how the vibes are with the revenues that are coming in, right? So a couple of previews during the day. I've been reading a lot of previews of the revenues, and most of the revenues are okay. You know, definitely the ones from the tech companies, and those are the ones that are pushing Nasdaq, by the way. So everything looks quite positive, except most of the companies actually are putting in a lower valuation on the profits on the shares. So maybe that could trigger, you know, a little bit of worry for the people that are holding the shares of the companies. But like I said, it's speculative. We can't really predict what all of these people are going to be reacting, right? So, as we can see, those are the key points that I'm looking at. Do we break back 10.9K? Most likely, if we 10.9K breaks, we most likely will be heading up back towards 11K or something like that. That would mean that Bitcoin most likely will be triggering up as well towards the top side of the range. Not saying that we will immediately break the range, because we will only break, I only believe that we will be breaking the range of Bitcoin once Nasdaq or CME S&P 500 is going to make an new all-time high. If we do make an all-time high, most likely Bitcoin is going to be breaking the top side as well. But just for basically for the movement, do we go more towards the upside or more towards the downside? Right now, at this point in time, I do believe that we most likely will be taking a little leg towards the downside rather than the upside. But that's you know, it's something that we still have to figure out or see what happens later on. As I told you, I am not in a position, or I'm not in a trade right now, so just watching it out, because I think at this point in time it's just better to not be in a trade or any position right now. Even on the traditional markets, I am out of a trade, because usually, and that's purely based on my personal experience of being the trader for such a long time already. Usually during this period of revenue supports, it's not advisable to be trading or putting yourself into a position, because the edge that you have and the movement of the price is very hard to be predicting, because people will be reacting on the reports on very different ways, and only when we see that reflect on the price, we can use technical analysis to be basically setting us up for any trade. So I'm completely out of anything, just watching it out. But of course, like any trader, it's just preparing myself to, if some price confirmations get hit, and then we move in and we try to take that money, of course. Very similar we can see on the S&P 500. As you can see here, let me put this on the daily as well. So we can see here, price got rejected from the top here. I did expect us to go a little bit higher, where this would be the next target, the gap that we had here between on the 21st of February. So I did expect us to go a little bit higher, but that's basically the next target in case we are going to be pushing towards the upside, right? So if we get another push up or leg up from here, then yeah, most likely that will be the next target towards the upside and fill that gap that we've been seeing. But very similar, we created a higher high here, and then basically retraced all the way back down towards bounced off the EMA 21, as you can see here beautifully. And then right now, this is the area to be looking at, right? The 3,254 area. Do we break above it? Most likely be returning towards the 3,067. If we break that area, then we can aim for higher as well, right? So exactly very similar, but like I said, the pullback seems to this pullback and how the candle formation and everything seem to be favoring a pullback towards the downside rather than the upside. And well, if we start closing some candles, definitely if we go to the daily, if we start closing some candles, I would say like to the 3,200 would be there, right? Can I give some exit points of our shorts at BTC? Well, it depends on how. I can't really give you an exit point of your short when. It depends on how your risk management is and how you are in a position or something like that, right? If you right now, I would say the key area is this area basically, right? So the key area is this area here, the 9,300 area. If we are holding that 9,300 area and we push up towards the upper end, then most likely you'll be you'll be screwed. You'll be losing more money. On the other hand, things are looking more towards the downside, right? So if you are still in a short, yeah, we're basically in the middle, as you can see, in the middle between the two boxes right now. So it's very hard to be telling you like, okay, you should be taking it out now. You should be waiting. Maybe there's a chance towards the upside. Like I said, if you were in a short, I don't know from which position that you were in a short, you should have defined your exit strategy together with your entrance, and that's basically how you should be trading. You can't not be going into a position into a trade and then wait and see what happens and then find an exit point, right? That it doesn't work like that. And if you've been following me, every time I also tell you like, okay, well, if the price does this, if it goes wrong, I will be exiting my trade, and that's basically what you should be doing as well. So make it a habit. Whenever you enter a trade, also put a stop loss or exactly know where you will want to be exiting your trade as well, or else you'll be things will be the same as you're in right now, where you're like just like confused and you have no idea if you should be exiting or you should be holding it a little bit longer. Like I said, we are exactly in the middle of the two green boxes right now, and that's the reason why I am not recommending any position or anything like that. But to be honest, in all fairness, RSI is still quite on the high end, and it looks like but it's not sure. It looks like it will most likely be heading towards the downside, or swipe the downside one more time before maybe we will break towards the upside, right? But like I said, it will all depend on this, right? On the Nasdaq. If we start, like I said, if you see Nasdaq start breaking towards the 11,000, yeah, I would cut the pain and get out of my short, because Bitcoin is going to be pumping towards the upside and follow the traditional markets rather than heading down. But let's see what the next 4-hour candle close comes in the 12 hour at 8 o'clock, and maybe we can see something else from there, right? But yeah, so those are the things that we have to take a look at. And something else that yeah, sure, we can have a look on the higher time frame as well. So here, just wanted to show the weekly first, right? The weekly, this is the weekly. We are basically here grinding it out against that pesky resistance for a really long time now. The only negative thing is, like I said, the RSI, the weekly, sorry, not the RSI, the weekly Stokes are still curling towards the downside. But like I also explained, what can happen is we can do something like this, right? So where it curls back towards the upside. But we need a really strong movement above $10,000. So we need to break the $10,000 to be basically curling towards the upside. So if price does that, then the Stokes are going to be curling towards the upside. You can clearly see it here on the RSI as well. We are above the EMA and it's trying, as you can see, it's trying to break out of this resistance as well. Do note, even if we break out now, the week is not completed, so don't be immediately enticed with buying Bitcoin and believing that we will immediately go to the moon or break out towards 10,000 if by just watching this RSI breaking this resistance, right? Because the weekly candle has not been completed just yet, so be aware of that. But as you can see, as long as we keep the price above 9,211 for the next week, that would mean pretty bullish for Bitcoin and the possibility to be breaking out of this resistance. Let's take a look on the monthly time frame. So this is the monthly time frame right now. Like I explained when we started off, the monthly candle is currently a little bit curling towards the downside, as you can see here, curling towards the downside, right? So that was the only worry that I had when the monthly closed last month, right, when the start of the month. But as you can see here, the RSI is still above the EMA 21. So, you know, very, very positive, very, very positive. Other than that, it was in indecision candle here on the monthly, so nothing much to be talking about there. All right, so that's basically what the monthly is telling us, but it's nothing that big, that major, right? Everything will be concluded most likely in the next week or something like that, or even this week most likely is going to be most likely going to be conclusion of the trend. If we break the 9.4 possible, and yeah, of course, it's never too late to make money, Carl. 9.4K is something. Is not the key point for me though. So where would I be interested in looking for a long? Well, if we break this previous high, so the previous high is at 9,450. Let's say for 9,450, Carl. So if we break 9,450, I will be contemplating a long towards the next green box here, towards the 9.7K, right? So why would it be too late? If you take from 9,450 to 9,700, that's a nice $250 spread. So why not? why would I not take that trade? On the other hand, of course, yeah, I'm just waiting for price confirmation, right? So one of those things need to be happening first before anything. But right now, Uh, yes, yes, Ahmed. I do combine combine a little bit of everything to give me a more indication of what things will be happening, or what I'm favoring of, right? But most of the times, patterns can be a little bit problematic. Let's put it like that, because basically every pattern can break on the upside. Of course, there's higher probability that, for example, a descending triangle is going to be breaking towards the downside, but I've seen descending triangles breaking towards the upside as well, right? So no, Tina. It doesn't work like that, right? No. Okay, that's a very good question, Gil. So I just want to be very clear, right? Okay, this is on the daily basis, right? Okay, so let's say, and this is very, very valid, right? So this is quite important, actually. So we had our high here, right, at 10,400 ish, something like that, and we had our low here, which is at 8,800, something like that. So if we make a Fibonacci retracement from this top here towards this bottom here, we can clearly see that this zone is basically the most is a very important zone, right? So this Fibonacci retracement area here, the golden pocket ratio, so 9.8 to 9,860. So let's say, which is very, very valid, let's say we break up above this 9,450, we break out of this basically this triangle, or this ascending triangle, right? So talking about patterns, basically this is the pattern that we are currently forming right now. One second, let me show you in a triangle. So basically this is the ascending triangle that we are forming now, right? So well, we can make it higher. This is the ascending triangle, sorry. This is the ascending triangle that we are forming right now. And if we do a measured move from this ascending triangle, quick ascending measured move here from this point to this point, let's say we break out here, you can clearly see we'll be hitting that that green box towards the upside, right? So that's basically what we are looking at right now. But this, like I said, ascending triangle can also is higher probability that we break towards the upside. But like I said, I've seen many patterns break towards the downside as well. So higher probability that we are breaking towards the upside, yes, higher probability. So, but anyways, I am digressing once again. Let's say we break up from this here, from this area here, and we break all the way up here towards this 9.850-ish area, or the golden pocket ratio here, right? Let's say we break up from all the way towards there. Okay, let's remove this box here. Okay, so price makes a break from that that triangle and moves up here. So price is basically here. Well, then if we are looking at the grander scale of things, this is basically still a lower high, right? So this would be our high point, and this could be our lower high, and this could be a third lower high once again, and then we would be forming some sort of like a trend line, like this, something like that, right? So another trend line towards the downside as well, right? So is anything conclusive if we go to that golden pocket ratio? No. So I just want to be clear that although of course if we keep breaking and if we keep going towards the upside and nearing the top side of the breakout, of course I will be more and more bullish, right? It's that's normal. But you know, until I see a higher high structure, I'm not going to be, you know, completely bullish, but I am also not completely, you know, bearish. And the only reason why I was more bearish in the last couple of let's say weeks, right, is very simple. We keep grinding here towards the lower end of the support zone. if you are very if you have a higher probability to be breaking towards the downside, of course you should be a little bit more bearish than bullish, right? But if we are breaking towards the upside and we go to like this 9.8k, does that mean that I'll be immediately be super bullish? No, because in the macro structure it didn't break anything yet. If we start breaking above, of course, if we, like I said, the trigger point is, if you are a conservative trader, the trigger point is 10k. For me, I'm a little bit more aggressive on that end. I do believe that if we close a daily candle above 9,900, that basically does it for me, because basically above this green box here, that basically tells me that we have a reversal pattern in action, and all of this has been reaccumulation rather than distribution, right? So those trigger points are exactly the same as they always have been, right? So, and then in terms of the bottom, like I've also said, 8,900, going below 8,900, and at this point in time, most likely a daily close below 9,000 for the more aggressive traders would seal the deal towards the downside as well, right? Towards the most likely the lower $8,000. So it's a big move. So for me as a trader, I am on the macro scale more intrigued for that trade. For example, if I see the price close above 9,900, from 9,900 towards most likely 11,000, 11,500. So that's like a few $1,000s move towards the upside. So a lot of gains there. But in the other hand, if we close below 9,000 and we go to 8,000 or 7,500 or something like that, once again, that's also a $1,500 move towards the downside. So I'm very interested in that as well. So I don't really have of course there is a slight bias right now that that I am a little bit more bearish, but if the price tells me I'm breaking above 9,000 above this green box here, I will take that long. I don't have a problem with that at all. So yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation of the price. So the price is going to be telling me what my trade is going to be doing. But I just wanted to be clear that even though I will be taking this long towards this Fibonacci level here around 9,800, I will take that long, and I will close my position there. And will it turn me completely bullish? Most people will completely will be jumping for joy, but most likely what will happen is at this point here it will just break back down towards the previous, and if we hold the support, then we can break up from there. But nothing is conclusive if we go towards that 9.8k area. Sadly enough, nothing is still conclusive. Towards the downside, it is conclusive, because it would completely break this whole pattern of that we have been forming the past 2-3 months. So if we break towards the downside, that would resolve the whole pattern, and then I would be looking at 7.5k at first around the 8k, and then most likely 7.5k after, like we've been discussing for forever now, right? So, but yeah, if you're asking me for short-term trades, like I said, between these two green boxes here, like I explained before, it's a no trade zone. But I know that, like I said, some people are more aggressive, and some people, took the trade yesterday, the short from this green box here down to this green box here, and which was a very valid trade, right? A very valid trade. Yes, Tina. I mean, it depends, but yeah, most of the well, if you want to be trading it, of course, it has to be it has to be kept on the platform, right? No other choice. But yeah, I do have of course on the hardware wallets and stuff like that, right? Which is long term holders hodling. But only Bitcoin. So for people who are asking me, do you have any altcoins and stuff like that? No, I don't hold. I mean, my portfolio is only like 3% of altcoins, so I don't care that much about it. The only thing that I do love to be doing is shorting altcoins. That has been fun for the past couple of days because yeah, altcoins have been going up quite substantially, but of course they can go back down very quickly as well, right? So that has been fun as well. Talking about altcoins, let's take a look at Link, because Link has been quite interesting, right? So we can see that we have some channel here, and we actually that was very key actually here, holding this EMA 100, as you can see. That was the area to be watching, and as you can see, it is going, as you can see, it's pumping back up here, and I would be looking at this area right here. If we get rejected here, or if we break out of this channel here, most likely we'll be heading up higher, most likely back towards our $8, which was our previous breakdown point, right? So I would be looking at this area here. Yeah, around this area, around the $8 area. It's also a very psychological number, right? So all eyes on Chainlink, but it's doing really well. So I know for some of my friends took a long here on this area here, which is perfect, right? Which is perfect. Going and if we do break out here, I might be interested in longing actually Link on that area as well. But yeah, very interesting. And as you can see here as well, RSI is very low and has some ways to go. But like I said, we want to be seeing some confirmation. But breaking out of this area might be interesting as well for myself. Like I said, I don't have a emotional attachment to to any of these tokens or any of this crypto. For me, it's just purely to gain money, right? So I'm not even for Link or altcoins. I'm not even trading it in satoshis. I'm purely trading it in USDT because I want to gain more USDT, because USDT I can exchange it into cash without any issues, right? So that's basically the reason. For the pivots, I'm using the Fibonacci types and the daily pivot timeframes. So I'm using those settings. But I change it quite often though. So sometimes I use the different ones as well. But my main scenario, my main pivot points are Fibonacci pivot points. So yeah, it looks pretty good for me, Chainlink. So very interesting to see if we do break, like I said, if we do break this R1 or the 7.6 and break out of this this channel, this downward channel towards the upside, and then I would be targeting back towards the $8, right? Towards the $8 for the Link fans, because the Link fans have been a little bit in pain, because we went from like I said before, right, that Fibonacci extension level of my favorite, the 1.618 Fib level. If for people who took the short there at that point, who made a killing, right, made an absolute killing. Myself, I only took a short from like 8.25. If you want to ask me the reason why, you can watch my video from yesterday, where I explained that I just basically was waiting for confirmation on the bearish divergence to be confirmed, and that's the reason why my profits will be not as high as other traders. But on the other hand, my risk is also a lot lower than with other traders. Anyways, let's go back to Bitcoin, because we are already at over 8 o'clock, and we can see some expected moves. What are you telling me? First standard deviation to the top side is 9,409. So yeah, touching the green box towards the upside is probable. 9,281 towards the downside. So touching the green box towards the downside is probable as well. And we can clearly see that it is angled a little bit towards the downside more than the upside. So like I said, I do believe that a little bit more more probability towards the downside, but everything will really depend on what happens later tonight when the traditional markets and the revenue reports are trickling in, to be honest. So that's what I would be looking at, and nothing's going to change that. But yeah, for now, as you can see here, RSI is curling towards the downside. I think we're going to swipe one more time towards this green box, towards the downside. Do we break it or not? Will, like I said, will most likely be depending on what happens towards the traditional markets, right? But maybe we can take a quick look at some traditional stocks, like Tesla. Tesla, my friend, Tesla. Yep, Tesla is like I said, this was most likely a blow up top towards the downside, but who knows, right? Who knows? People have been. But I do believe that this one is getting rejected right now, as well as at this 1600 right now. But you know, that's the key point to be looking at. Do we go back up a little bit towards 1650? Sure, maybe, but I do believe that this will be starting to be going towards the downside rather than the upside. Once we start hitting the 1500 area or the EMA 21, things will look very different immediately. As you can see here, there's an E button here, meaning the earnings will be at 9:30. As you can see, earnings report at 9:30. So like I said, tonight is going to be a very big night for traditional markets. Very same for Microsoft as well. Let's take a quick look at Microsoft. As you can see here, we got a beautiful top here, and then major crash towards the downside. Then we had a nice pump back towards the upside, but right now struggling once again at this $210 dollars. So yeah, but overall still holding the EMA 21. But once again, earnings report will be later tonight as well. So let's take a look. Let's like I said, let's wait it out. There's very little that I can say. We'll have to wait it out how the people are going to be reacting on the earnings report, right? But for now, I do believe, to wrap it up, I do believe I'm not going to do anything, Nikolai. I'm not going to do anything at all, because I'm not going to do anything at all because I want to see what the range of the price direction is, and we will only know pretty much only tomorrow or something like that. You have to understand, people have to, like, you know, get the reports. There's also some conferences after the earnings report. There's some calls that they will be making with the people and the investors and this and that. So I'm just gonna wait it out a day or something like that, and then reanalyze things. But if I do see that there is a big pullback or some major zones that are being broken towards the downside on the daily by tomorrow, then of course I'll be entering some positions to short if it does break those kind of position. If it does break towards the upside, yeah, I'll be looking for longing positions. I mean, that's basically it. But for today, I'll just be analyzing things. Won't be doing much trading, even if later when the New York Stock Exchange is going to be opening, there will most likely be a lot of volatility. So yeah, I'll just be waiting it out, to be honest. Wait for the daily close tomorrow and then figure things out by tomorrow. Like I said, in trading there's always an opportunity, but I'd rather be a little bit more safer than risk. And yeah, like I said, during your revenues days report, I'd rather not do any trading. That's basically my one of my my rules as well. So yeah, it all depends on yourself, right? I mean, how much risk appetite do you have, right? But yeah, for me, that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's wrap it up. In the short term, it looks like we're going to be swiping towards the downside once again. All eyes on basically holding the EMA 21, yes or no, the 9,270 here. If we close 4-hour candles below it, not good. I would be expecting most likely price to be going back down towards like 9,000 area, I guess, around 9,000, swiping the low end of the area once again. But yeah. On the other hand, if we do break above 9,450, when everything goes, super bullish, then I'll be expecting it to go to 9,700 ish area first, maybe a pullback, but eventually most likely to 9,800 and 9,900, near 9,900 to be honest. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's see. Let's wait it out. Let's wait until this how this is getting resolved. And as you can see, Nasdaq and S&P are starting to pump already. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Right now, I do believe that most likely we'll be swiping towards the down. Like I said, I don't think we'll be breaking any structure, to be honest, just yet, until basically the traditional market is going to be telling us what it wants to do. If we break all-time high, then tomorrow I'll be trying to find long positions. If we break big structures on the traditional markets tomorrow, I'll be re-entering and trying to find some short positions myself then, right? But yeah, I'll update you guys, of course, tomorrow, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. Hope to see you again tomorrow. And until then, of course, stay home, stay safe, and of course, stay COVID free.